What's up, YouTube? It's Gary Brown from 313 Hoops, and today we are back with another video. Tomorrow, the Detroit Pistons are playing their first preseason game up against the New York Knicks. I believe it's at the Little Caesars Arena, and that's happening tomorrow. It's something to really be excited about. The preseason's here, and the season's just right around the corner. Just a few weeks afterwards, we'll get right into this 2022 to 2023 NBA season. So something to be really excited about. There's been a lot of things also that's happened this past week too, as well, that I want to talk about. We'll talk about the preseason things we're looking for, but there's some things that also happened this past week that I want to talk about. They had their media day. There were some interviews that went through that I got to see, and we'll talk about some things I heard from them. And then what else was there? And then training camp too as well. So we'll talk about that, all those things, and then we'll get right back into preseason and talk about some things that we're looking out for, and we're excited for. But basically, yeah, they had their media day. They took their photo shoots, did all their they got filmed and stuff for like the future edits and stuff that they play on the Jumbotron and all that, for the commercials and all that. So their media day went by pretty cool. They did a few interviews. I listened to a few of them. One of them being from Cade Cunningham. And one thing that I've noticed from Cade Cunningham just throughout his interview is the fact that it looks like he's a lot more confident heading into his sophomore season. We all know how he was injured at the start of the season. I believe he didn't really get to play any NBA level basketball until I want to say like maybe 7 games into the season, something like that. And so, he started off really slow there, and then the adjustment from going from college ball to NBA basketball, where you're traveling across the country, throughout an 82-game season, that was definitely an adjustment that, he had to, really figure out. And, he was saying how, over this off season, he's really figured out his body, found out, how to sleep better, how to eat better, and how to just mentally prepare himself a little bit better for this upcoming season. So now when he's traveling and all that, he doesn't really have to focus a lot on, figuring out this new world, this new NBA world that he's now in. Never been traveling before, and now being put into that. Now he can focus a little bit more on his game, get himself a little bit better, focus on what he needs to do to, prepare his team to get better for the next game. And, one of the things that he was talking about too was, something that really caught my attention was, he keeps telling himself, keeps telling the team tells themselves, just try to be better, than you were the day before. Try to be better than last season. Try to be better, just always working to get better. And that's a really great mindset to have, especially as a young team, and especially like even starting out this season right here at the beginning of the season, because, they get 1% better, every single day. 100 days later, they're 100% better. You know what I'm saying? So, if they just keep that up, keep that mentality, working through, the wins, losses, the travels and all that, they could do some really big things. And, just talking about like stuff like that, getting better. Jayden Ivy also did an interview too as well that I was able to listen to. And it was pretty cool because Jayden Ivy, he had those 2 games in the summer league. I was only able to watch the second game because the first game was so late. And that second game, he only played like 5 to 10 minutes and had an incredible stat line that's just going crazy. And, my thing with Jayden Ivy is I believe he's going to have games like that where he just explodes and just, can erupt for a good 20, 25 points, throughout the season. But there's going to be a lot of times where he's going to go through some growing pains. He's going to, maybe have some really bad shooting splits, and, he's just going to really struggle a lot throughout this first season. But he seems like, he's also on board with what Cade's saying, trying to get better every single game, every single day, every single time you're at practice, try to be better than the day before. And, that's awesome to see just, from from a rookie this year, Jayden Ivy, to have that kind of mindset too as well. And, he wants to be a Piston. He literally said that he wants to be a Piston, and, he was so happy to be here. So, playing for an organization that he wants to be at, that he's, been dreaming of being at, since, he knew the Pistons were one of the teams, that could, grab him in the draft, just having that desire to play for the Pistons, that's going to go far. That's going to really push him this year. And, having someone like Cade there with Jayden Ivy, you can definitely help him out and, help him adjust throughout the course of the season. So that's going to be really cool to see from Jayden Ivy. But yeah, they've been doing their, their training camps recently, getting the team together, playing together, running their plays and all that, practicing together and all that. And on, was it yesterday? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. Yesterday they had their open practice. So there was some footage that I was able to see from their open practice together as a team. And, again, they were doing a lot of practice drills and all that, which was pretty cool to see. And then they ran a scrimmage. I don't really know who was on what team or whatnot, but they ran a scrimmage like team versus team scrimmage, everybody on the Pistons. And, I did see Isaiah Stewart, he was splashing that three, man. Like he was hitting some threes. I think I saw Bojan Bogdanovic hitting a couple threes too. Jalen Duren. He was playing some really good defense. I want to say that I saw him block Cade Cunningham in one of the clips too. So Jalen Duren just really stepping up to the plate and stuff. And I know it's a scrimmage, and you're playing against guys that you see every single day. But it's just pretty cool to see the type of intensity that they were bringing into that into that open practice that they hosted at Little Caesars Arena. But yeah, overall, that was pretty cool to see. But let's talk about preseason now. Preseason. So yeah, preseason starts tomorrow. We're facing the New York Knicks, another team that I'm actually kind of curious to see how they play. They got guys like Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, all those guys. But I think that realistically, the Detroit Pistons, I think they're gonna have a really good, really good preseason. We're gonna really get to see what this team, we're going to see different rotations. We might not win a lot of preseason games. I feel like a lot of this preseason actually is going to be us figuring out, what rotations to use, which players work best with which players. And, I know starting out, Alec Burks, he's going to be missing a few preseason games. I don't know how many exactly, but I know he is going to start off. He's not going to be starting off this preseason with the Detroit Pistons, due to injury. So I do expect Jayden Ivy to get a lot of minutes, and I do think that, they're going to play him consistently, let him get into the groove and all that, because, from what I saw in, his Rico Hines stuff is, and again, he still needs to kind of figure out the pace of the game. Sometimes he's going a little bit too fast, and I feel like him getting more minutes early on right here, taking advantage of the fact that, Alec Burks is injured, let's give Ivy a little bit more minutes. I feel like that's going to help him out quite a bit. So I think that's something that we're going to be looking out for. I want to see a lot of the Cade and Jayden Ivy, duo. I want to see how they play together, how, they orchestrate the offense together. There were some clips on Instagram from the Detroit Pistons. Cade would dish out to Ivy. Ivy would be driving to the lane, but quickly dishes it out to, Bogdanovic, I believe it was. And, we saw some of that in the, the training camp, one of the first days of training camp. And, it's going to be pretty cool. That's what I want to really see. I want to see the growth of Jayden Ivy, see where he starts at, where he, where he's going to start at in his NBA career. Because I do expect him to have some struggling games. But, overall, I think he has the heart, desire to get better and the work ethic to get better. And, he's a really smart dude. From what I've seen, he's a really smart dude. And I think he can make the adjustments that he needs to. And, just seeing where he starts, I'm excited to see where he ends up. Another guy is Jalen Duren. So there's been a lot of talk with Jalen Duren over the summer about, basically, is he going to the G League? Where's he going to find minutes in the rotation and all that? And I actually believe that, they're going to play Jalen Duren a lot just to see what he can do up against, NBA level competition. And from what I saw in the, there was an open practice clip that I saw. Basically, Jalen Duren was playing some pretty good defense. And from what I've heard, too, he was playing some really, really good defense. And, it was elite level defense. And, maybe he ends up cracking the starting lineup. Maybe he ends up cracking, he ends up somewhere in our rotation simply because Dwayne Casey loves defense. So, you had Jalen Duren in there, somebody that can grow. He's only 19 years old. That's going to be really cool to see. So I'm really excited to see what his defense looks like against other NBA teams. Who else do we got over here for preseason? Oh, Isaiah Stewart. I want to see how that three. We've been talking about it all summer, him becoming a stretch 4, maybe even a stretch 5, but just adding that three-pointer to his game. We want to see how consistent they go to that, and then I want to also see how consistent he can actually make them too. Is he going to be a real lethal threat from 3? That'd be pretty sweet, adding that to the Detroit Pistons. I believe Bojan Bogdanovic is going to find his place on the team really well. I don't think he's going to really need to adjust too much for the Detroit Pistons. I believe he's just going to flow right into our offense. And he just gives Cade another weapon. Sadiq Bey, I really want to see how he does. I think this is going to be his best season yet so far. from three, and then, just being able to create his own shot and stuff. So that's going to be really cool to see. I want to see how he plays too with this offense. And then we'll see what they do with the bigs, man, because that's been the biggest question that, I've been asking and I've been wondering this entire offseason is what are they going to do with their bigs? What are the rotations going to be? I believe Nerlens Noel might be injured too right now, so we're not going to see much of him, but we're going to see, kind of like the rotations and what they do with Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren. And then there's Isaiah Livers, Killian Hayes. I heard was doing really good at the training camp, the open practice that they were doing. So we'll see what Killian Hayes is going to bring. I believe he's going to come off the second unit a lot. So, we'll see how he does that, runs the offense there. But overall, there's a lot of things to be excited for this preseason. The season's literally right around the corner. But overall, I think this is going to be a great preseason, great season. Just an exciting time for Detroit basketball. So, a lot of things to look forward to. But yeah, I think that's how we're going to conclude this video. I'll definitely have a video out, just kind of talking about what happened in the game with the New York Knicks. I'll do a little recap afterwards. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to get, your alerts right then and there once I post it up. But yeah, let's call this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.